Hi, everybody. Good
Hello, everybody.
evening.
How are you all? It's wonderful to see you back again. This is Hugh and Lorraine of Black Business Recommendation. Oh, by the way, it's Bellot, isn't it? It's supposed to
Yeah, I
say
think you should say
Hugh
that.
and
Yeah.
Lorraine Bellot.
Hi, everybody. It's lovely to see you on this Monday afternoon. I hope you've had a lovely day so far. A great start to the week. We can't get any better than the weather being so nice out here. But I'm still hoping that, we're still hoping that quite a few of you will come on board and jump on board tonight to listen to this wonderful, wonderful lady who has a lot of information to share. Okay, so before we bring her on, I'm going to let you
Um,
introduce
I I
the
would
lovely
say
lady.
that she's all about the money, and her name is Charlene Hibbert, and it is an absolute pleasure to meet and greet you, Charlene. Wonderful to have you here with us.
Hi there.
Welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
my dear. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Good evening. Thanks for having me today. How?
Lovely to see you, my darling. Lovely to see you.
Good. Good.
It's you know we were supposed to meet on last Monday, but circumstances happened, and it was very difficult time because bank holiday, people finally getting out, trying to do what we all
Mm.
try to do,
Mm.
and for my part, my mistake, I went every week. Let's just do this every week, and so I did not remind you that it was a bank holiday, and then family catch up, and then united. Yeah. So, it's a real pleasure, and thank
It
you
is.
very much at the last minute to say, you know what, come on anyway. And we're going to have a couple of shows where we're going to be discussing the things that matter to people, the money.
That's right.
First and foremost, we're going to,
Before I find out a little bit more about Shah.
we,
Shah.
yeah,
Yeah, so Shah, it's lovely to have you on board, my darling.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Tell the audience and ourselves a little bit about you.
Yes. So, She's All About the Money. I'm a founder of She's All About the Money, which is a platform that I created to empower more women to have a better relationship with money. And that all came about from my own previous experience with money when I wasn't so great with it. And all the things that I learned, and not couldn't say mistakes, lesson learned along
Yeah.
the journey. And then going towards being a money coach and, going to different seminars and sessions, I've seen loads of male representation, but not women. And if I did see women, they didn't look like me. So I felt that to create something that is relatable,
yeah,
something that can understand how money works, because that's often what's missing, the financial education. So how money works and how you can start making it work for you. So that's kind of where She's All About Money was born and how it came about. So moving forward to now, I have online training programs. I have a membership as well, my Money Boss Queen community. And also FCA regulated to provide advice and recommendations for life insurance as well.
Mm.
Fabulous. Wow, that
So,
sounds like an array.
wait. That last bit, FA, what was that
FCA,
for the FCA? That's correct.
And
yes.
just for anybody that may not know what those initials stand for, can you just explain what they are?
So everything that you take out, there should be some kind of regulation over it. And this is a financial regulation, which is a governing body to make sure that whatever product you have is protected. So it gives you protection to know that your confidentiality is secure. Data protection, your information that you're sharing, because when you're going for particular products, your information can be shared. So by being FCA regulated means that you are covered. If you was not happy with the service, you can complain to that governing body. That make sure there's regulations that we need to follow as professionals, financial professionals, to make sure that we give you the best service that we can to make sure you're not only protected, but also we're not putting you in a situation of being outside your affordability. So, for example, someone could go for a mortgage and, that could be double their income. The FCA regulations mean that you cannot go up and above your affordability. So we make sure that you're protected and you're taken care of.
Excellent.
Not
That's
like the
great to
Margaret
hear.
Thatcher days when you could just borrow and then the boom, then the bust because you couldn't pay
Exactly.
back.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. Right. So what we're going to talk about tonight are some programs that we will develop to talk to people about the money. And as you rightly say, she's all about the money, and I love that. Yeah, because that actually says exactly what we need to do.
On the tip.
Talk about the money, deal with the money. But guess what? She's all about the money as well.
I
So
like that. Lorraine.
directly, I make sure that if I do whatever, it goes through her. Yeah, just like Bill Crosby used to do, right, with his wife, it goes through her. So,
How-
so
it's a happy life.
So listen,
There you go. There you go.
It's sorted, no problem. Yeah, she deals with the money, I deal with the relax.
Love that.
So today, what are we going to be talking about?
Yeah, so today I'm going to give you a bit of information about two areas that's really important. That's the personal finance, and also looking at starting up your business finances, what you need to think about and consider when you're looking at your budget and getting those things into play. They're both very important, similar in some areas, but just give you some kind of pointers to think about.
Okay.
No, that's really good, because a lot of people right now, and what we've known from in the past when we've done the shows, a lot of people have started their business without any financing whatsoever from from banks or anything. But obviously, it's great to have the idea of what you want to start, and it sometimes can be difficult if you think to yourself, actually, I can't get any money from the bank, and how am I even going to take those first steps to even starting? So I think this would be a great conversation. What advice or how would you recommend people start doing that, Char?
Okay, so just to clarify, within my business that I run, I'm more for personal finance. So the information I'm sharing on the business side is from my own previous experience, knowledge, and also research that I've done myself.
Right.
I'll mix that into the two. So regards to starting your business, first and foremost, before you get to that stage, you need to think about your own budget for your personal finances. Are they in check? Are you able to follow your budget month by month? Do you know what your ingoings and outgoings are? Are you living within your means? Do you have an emergency fund in place, money you can rely on in those times of need? If this is not really working for you, then starting a business isn't the right time. It's really important, I think, first and foremost, before you think about starting that business, it's getting your personal finances in check first. So that's my first thing I'll say. Once that, you got to a better place, you're in a comfortable position of how you're managing your money, and you want to start a business, you're thinking, oh, I just don't have the money, I don't have the funds. Then you need to use what you have at the moment. So often people think, oh, I'm fed up with a 9 to 5, let me just jump off that and go straight into my own thing. It's great to have that entrepreneur mindset, but if you haven't got the funding to back you, you can be in a situation you're trying to just make ends meet, feed the family, and you're just going to rush to get it to work because you need the income. So the best advice I have is go for that hard period of doing both. Use your 9 to 5 to fuel your business. So that money you got coming in, put it into your separate account. That's your little pot of money growing for your side hustle. For example, it may be a side hustle till it gets to a point of becoming a sustainable business that can hold your family income. And you don't want to be in a position to ever think of jumping ship until that money is covered. So what is your outgoings? Yeah, calculate what that is. Not what you think you're spending, what you actually are spending.
Yeah, that's really important, isn't it? Yeah.
It's often two different things, right? When I work with clients, how much they think they're spending. When we do a budget plan, they're very surprised when they realize what they're actually.
Absolutely.
Now, forget those little drinks and those little dinners out. Yeah, so yeah.
And those shoes.
So what was that?
Those shoes. Yeah, the price of those shoes. Yes. Yeah. I think in terms of that, do we look at, before you start setting up a budget and understanding a budget and the ins and outs, the incomes, the outgoings, and then to have, you mentioned having a separate saving. Yeah. Now, before I knew anything, it was like one account.
Everything
in one account.
Yeah. And there wasn't anything other than that account, and when it dry. Right? Because so what's the fault with that argument, and can you clarify for people?
Yes. So putting everything into one pot, you never have a clear idea of what's going on. I think often people misconstrue budgeting of people that's poor or on a low income. Budgeting is for everybody. So if you think of budgeting, that's what you're doing. You're separating your funds and telling it where it needs to go before it decides it's going. So, you're putting it in, you're kind of forward thinking. Think of it in that sense, you're forward planning. So when you come to separating your accounts and your funds that you have, you can say, okay, this is my spending amount. This is my billing amount. This is my saving pot to A, B, and C towards that maybe start business, or, your fund pot, whatever you want to call it. And also, as I mentioned, that emergency fund, that's very important, especially if you're thinking about starting a business. Have you got funds to fall back on in times of need? And then also, if you do have debts as well, you want to think about getting those down as quickly as possible, because if you're thinking about putting another expense on such as a business, you want to make sure there's not being interest incurred and taken away from your money every single. So that's another pot that you can have paying towards that debt, pay those payments off more than just a minimum payment, which would take forever to pay that. So you're telling your money where to go before it comes. So having it working in order where maybe you got all money going into one account, for example, and then you can maybe set up standing orders where you have it going into the other pots of money, such as your spending amount that you say, this is my amount that I can spend until, the next money comes in. And when it's done, you're not then taking it again from the other pot. It just doesn't. So it's about you getting into a rhythm and being consistent with it. And you have to really be consistent with it, and being quite, routine with it, in a sense of knowing that you can't one month decide to save, next month you don't, and then be upset when you don't get nowhere. You have to.
Yeah. So within listening to different pots, are we talking about me having to go get 4 or 5 bank accounts?
No, that's not necessary. In the day and age we're in right now, that's not necessary. Maybe before, or maybe even the little envelopes under the bed, under the mattress. Back in the day. But there's so much apps that can help you now. You don't even have to worry about that. There's an app, for example, Monzo. It's a online banking system where it helps you to set up different pots. So it helps you to name it and put different pots, as many as you like. And then you can set up the standing orders to be payments into those accounts. Say, for example, you got paid on the 15th. So on the 15th, the pots of money is topped up with how much you say it should be topped up with. There's also apps such as Plum. And what it does is it kind of rounds up your, they call it like loose change. So, you go to, when you spend the odd £5.60 here and £10.15 there, the odd change, it will kind of calculate what that is. It sees your algorithm of how you spend. And then it tells you in advance how much it's going to take of that money, that leftover change, and slip it for you. So again, you've got another pot there growing. And with that additional pot, you can decide whether you want to invest it or split between savings and investing, or just do it all into savings. It's up to you. So using the available to you at the moment is key to kind of get into a rhythm of it all, because thinking of doing it on your own is very overwhelming. So you need support.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So with that being said, now we're talking about saving the money. Are there different aspects that you can do in terms of saving? Because I know that you do something in relation to what we call it, partner. Yeah, because I'm thinking, I'm thinking in advance now, because we had some conversations, and I'm thinking in advance, because for those who can't make the money to start the business, can you use something like a partner to actually get a money, put it in, in an account, and carry that out until you're able to start?
Most definitely. That's the best way to do it, because as I said, it's about that consistency, that small and often it all builds up. So definitely getting into rhythm of using other ways to save is really important. And the partner is a great way of doing that, because you've committed to something. You're not saving on your own as well. It's network of everyone saving towards the same goal. So for example, the partner that I do under Stepladder is called The Circle. It works the exact same way as the partner model. But how it's streamlined in a way where a company, Stepladder, set up that the direct debit takes from your account same day each month for a set amount of months into a pot of money, and then each month one person in that circle is awarded that pot. So they get their hand in the partner. And that helps you to think about what you can build, as you said, build on that money. So it's not coming yet, coming. So you can decide, for example, if it's £1,000 circle you're getting, you can decide when that money's coming, that's going to go into my first bit of money that I'm going to put aside towards my emergency fund. If you say, for example, you don't have one. Or, that could be something that I'm going to start helping me to think about how I'm going to start buying products for my side hustle. So whatever it is you're trying, it's going to help you small and easy to start building that up. And you can put that back into another partner as well. You don't have to, take it and spend it straight away. You can kind of help that to build on bigger funds, bigger pots of money. So that's one way of thinking about saving. Also, I often tell clients to think about their short-term, medium-term and long-term goals. Because it's
in terms of the saving aspect.
Is that in terms of saving? Is that personal or business saving? Or you can
you can apply that to both, but I have been telling my clients on a personal perspective about that. But you can actually apply that to both, because if you think about it, you may be starting out small, but then you may think that business actually, where you want it to take it. That's a long-term goal. So you may rather than you trying to reach the long-term big goal that you have for the business, and you're thinking that's way above my reach, I can't afford that, let me just not bother. You can go for the short-term goal and build it up and get it started. And then you can start leaning into the medium-term goal, and then eventually get to that long-term goal. So when I was going along with clients, on a personal perspective of it, we're thinking about what they may want to do. So in a year's time, they may want to upgrade their car, for example. you know, in the medium term goal, they may decide they want to, you know, think about paying off towards their student loan. Long term, they're about retiring early. So, you know, it's all about being clear about what you want, because if you're saving without a purpose, you find it harder to save. Because
right. Okay.
Yes.
you have to make
Very true.
So maybe one of the
Very
first
true.
things in terms of saving is to identify why you're saving.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So
And for the period as well. So so you've got that that direction. So
Exactly.
why am I saving? What is it for? And for how long?
Yeah.
Yes.
How long do I need to do it in order to be able to start that that process? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So about you now in terms of this situation. Here I am coming to you. I want to look at saving. I haven't saved anything from 19 long time, right? But I want to do something constructive. So let's just say I want to put a deposit on a house or whatever. Yeah. So I'm earning, you know, a decent amount. Okay. But it's not world shattering. It's just, you know, an average salary. What is the average salary today?
Oh my God. Well,
let's say 30. Let's say 30.
Yeah.
About 30,
that
would be an average. Okay. So now I'm coming to you, I'm saying, okay, what do I do from here on? Where, you know, what's the process that you and I would go through? Could we kind of role play that process so that people can understand the process that we need to go through? So hello, and I heard you all about the money. So I've got some. I haven't got a large amount, but I want to save. How can you help me?
So I guess I'll first go back to what I mentioned earlier, is about how are they budgeting? How are they managing in all the other areas of the aspects of money first before we look at that? Because if you're not able to get on top of your budgeting, if you don't know what your ingoings and outgoings are, you're going to come back and say, I can't afford to save, which is a crazy thing to say. People do can't afford to save. And it's not that you can't afford to save, it's just that you don't have your money set up in a way where you know where everything's going before the money comes. So it's telling you where. So having your money set up in a budget where you know all your ingoings and outgoings, what the totals are, so your spending account, your billing account, you know, all those other pots that we mentioned before, then we can look about the saving. Because then it's going to give you more leeway to see how much you can afford to save. That's the whole point of that. And you want to make sure that you live within your means, so you don't go over 50% of what you have coming in of having that as your main essential outgoing. Because if it's more than 50%, it's going to eat into the rest of that money you're coming in, and you're going to say, I can't afford to save. About 50% your main.
But you see, the reality is that now, a lot of people have gone,
way over that.
So, you know, it's no point, you know, talking about the airy fairy life that's supposedly there.
They've got no money.
When we clearly need to work out that, you know, I'm earning a nice little pot, but I'm not doing the best I can to save. So let's just say that we've gone through the process and I've identified I've probably got 100, 200 pounds a month that I can actually save. Yeah. So now I haven't got any saving accounts or anything. Where do we go now? Because now we've identified I've got 200 pounds a month.
Okay, well, I think I would still stay back to thinking about having an emergency fund first. So still thinking, first of all, to put the emergency fund in place. That's another savings pot, but having that in place. And then you're thinking about what money you have to put towards that. So if you said you just had £300, then that's all you think you can work with. But I wouldn't necessarily take that as that. I would want to look at your budget first. So together we would still go back to the budget, because I'm going to help you to see areas in your budget that you can cut costs. We're talking about people who spend 100 and something pounds on Sky TV, but say they don't have any money. I'm not saying people don't have hardship.
I hear that.
But it's about, where does your priorities lie? Yes. So we're able to save money in places in that budget that we can put into those saving pots. So that's always why I go back to the budgeting. We're trying to pull back and see where we can save, and then that's where you're going to put those into those pots to make it grow quicker. So if someone has a budget in mind and saying, oh, £300, we would still look at that budget plan first and break that all down to see where we can try and put, maybe even make that a bit more. And it's going to make them reach their goal a lot quicker, so they're going to be happy with that. And then once we've done that, we're then going to look at, with the end goal, how much are we trying to raise? What is the end goal here? And then we can then work backwards of working out how long it's going to take us to reach that goal with the amount that they've said they can afford to put down. Now, we can look at that in two ways: the amount that they think they can afford, and the amount that I think they can afford when I've looked at their afford.
Okay, what's the difference? Because right now I'm vexed because you're trying to squeeze out more money out of me. and I'm looking at my Sky TV gone. All right, my cigarette gone. I'm a whiskey gone too. So,
but then again, I suppose. Tell them, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're saying that you want to save and you want to get out from where you are, or you want to start your business, you've got to make those hard choices, isn't it? You know what I mean? And come out of that comfort zone, I suppose, and change it.
Yeah, often people want you to have a magic wand, but I tell you that the best tool that we have to work with is somebody's ability to stick with what they're told to do, that accountability, so my support that I'm giving you, and you're listening, and you've been consistent with what we're saying you're going to do. So it's all onto the individual, really. It's the client's breakthrough that matters. I mean, I may have the expertise, but it's the client that puts in the work. So I don't have magic wands. I just have the ways that they may not like, but it's going to help you to get your goals. We're looking at how we can get your goal, and that's how we work together. But I definitely do believe most of the time what people think they can save or afford to save is very different from what it really is. It's because they have their priorities in other places.
Right.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna squeeze you on that because really I'm vexed right now because right now my Sky's gone, my cigarette gone, and my whiskey gone. Hey, listen. Right. So here goes. Right. It's all in jest, but there is a very serious aspect to this. So this is why I'm trying to make sure that people get that feeling of what we're trying to achieve here. So you are saying to me, because right now, in a kind of way, you're acting as a counselor to me because I have got a bit of change that I'm trying to save, but I'm also trying to reserve the life that I'm living right now and my cushion and my foot up and thing.
Well, something's got to give.
You understand?
Well, Char's going to tell you, because right now you're giving her the scenario I'm sure you found yourself in with your clients a number of times.
Definitely. Something's got to give. And I've been there myself. I was in a situation where I had credit card on top of credit card and overdraft because I was topping up a livelihood, thinking it's my own money. Feeling special when I get an increase on the credit card. They don't like me. They like my money. So I had to learn the hard way. If I wanted to achieve being debt, I wanted to be debt free. That was my goal. And if I wanted to achieve that, I had to make some cutbacks. I didn't like it, but I did it. Yeah. And I've reached my goal. Now I have no debt options at all that I use. I've ended all my credit cards that have no overdraft. And that was my choice. And I'm going to have for it. So it's hard, but you do, with the consistency, you can actually make results happen. And, it was a coach that took me through that process. And that's how I see it. I see it more as a coaching process that I'm taking you through rather than counseling. I'm holding you accountable for what you say you're going to do.
Yes.
Right. So in that respects then, because you said that, and congratulations to you, of going through that process and, moving it forward and helping other people with what you do. But you said that you cancelled all of your credit cards and so on. Now, if I understand, some have said, well, it's always good to keep one because it shows your credit. If you keep it going and you're paying on time, then it shows that you are good for your credit. I mean, where do we stand with that? Obviously, it just being maybe an opinion. What do you think?
There is some truth in it. However, it's about the bigger picture here. What is that actually helping you to do what you're trying to achieve here? Is it putting you in more situation month by month, holding to that credit card, just paying your minimum balance each month with the interest on top? So you're taking 2 years to clear the balance instead of 1. Is it actually worth that over than saying, it's going to improve my credit score? I mean, the only time I would think of it's worth someone thinking about that is if you're looking to take a larger loan, such as buying a property, for example. You want to get on a property ladder and your credit score's not been so great. You want to build that up. But there is ways of doing that in a healthy way. So if you want to keep one card, you have to pay your balance in full in order for your credit score to increase. It doesn't increase just because your credit card is just sitting there looking pretty, or because you're spending it and paying back £5 per month.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I'm kind of trying to make a calculation here, and it ain't going right. But when I gave up cigarettes, I estimated I saved, and it's been what? It's been about 15 months now.
About that now.
Yeah, and in that period of time, I saved about £800.
Wow.
Now,
800.
I don't even know how much those things
Well, you
cost.
think about cigarettes, right? You buy a packet of 20, and that's like £10. Cigarettes are like £18. You buy that twice in a week over a period of a year. Then you're going into some money, right? So what I then saw was a possibility of me putting that money aside to do something else, rather than say, I saved it and buy a crisp pair of Nike.
Yeah, but
right?
that's the thing that Char's saying. You have to give up. You have to make those hard choices, which is either you want the lifestyle that you want, or you want to start that business that you want, or you want to keep the Sky, or you want to keep the Virgin, or you want to keep that Netflix, or whatever it is your your thing, right? You've got to give up something to be able to save forward for that. So yeah, but if people wanted to obviously speak to you more about what you do, Char, I mean, I'm going to go, give them all your handles as I have been doing. But I think before I go there, I want to know a little bit more about you. You touched on there how you came through the other side and are able to coach other people. But what was that process for you, and how long did it take you to go through your training?
So there was two parts to it. The first part was me deciding I wanted to be debt free. So that was my first part. But in the background, I always wanted to be a coach. I'm actually qualified in social care. I've been doing social care for 7 years. I've actually, part of that kind of transferable skills, coaching is very much part of it. Transforming people and helping them, holding them, I guess, accountable to what they're supposed to be doing, that support. So a lot of that underlining transferable skills was there already. So I didn't really start from that, but I did do NLP training in coaching, because it teaches you about different methods to use to transformation, helping someone to get from where they are to where they want to be. That over 2 years. But then separate to that, on my own personal journey, I wanted to be debt free. So the two became together. I don't know how, but I guess it was just meant to happen. But just before down in February, I just came up with She's All About the Money, just to share my journey. My first post was my credit card, my last one, sliced in half, and explaining, how I got there, what I was trying to achieve. And all what I was learning, information from a financial coach that I was learning, also from becoming debt free as well. All this information was building me want to learn more, go to more seminars, read more books about financial stability, and getting on top of your money. And I realized the financial education, what was missing. I just didn't have that. And discussions with family, I realized they didn't have it either. So, they're just getting fed up of me talking all the time about cancel your credit card, and do you need that? So conversations I was having, I realized it was everywhere. But then, as I said, my focus was women, because I didn't see many that looked like me talking about what I was talking about. So I just thought, I want something that, represents me. So, I mean, I'm open to any creed, whoever wants to come their way, but I'm very much more, passionate about the women that look like me. So, it kind of went from there, from strength to strength of, lockdown to being next month. Didn't know that was happening, but that gave me more time. It gave me more time to build on my side hustle, if you like, because I was in the office. I wouldn't have as much time to go to events that I was being invited to, and, go to different seminars, setting up my own online training program. And then, along my journey, I then signed up to a program that taught you about starting your own business. And it was kind of like a boot camp, because really quick, and you just had to take it on and stick to what you said you was going to do. But I got through it. I completed it. And they also had a follow-on where you can actually have a coach that takes you through the process. But I felt I want to find this out on my own. So I just started networking and, speaking to other people who've done what I've done, also wanted to do. So I say, and building their own platforms. And that, it went from strength to strength, just kind of partnering with people. And it wasn't only till beginning of this year that I decided to go back to that company and get the coach, where I meet with him once a month, just to go through what am I aiming to do, and where I want to take this, to kind of keeping me accountable to what I say I'm going to do. So that's kind of how She's All About the Money came about.
Oh, fantastic. And how have you found business within the lockdown period? Have you been able to garner the people that the audience that you need, and be able to help people as you obviously trained for?
Yeah, I think, having the internet's been fabulous. Zoom has been my best friend. Ever tried to do that 35 minutes or whatever it is gives you for free. I was like, no, online.
40 minutes and then you're
very
done.
Good. I like that. Sticking true to your word.
So I had to just upgrade that. But yeah, Zoom's been fabulous, because it's helped me to reach such a wide audience. Like, I run masterclasses every month. And I offer like free spots on that. And I've had people on there from Birmingham and all over, where normally you would only really go where it's kind of local to you. or at least London. You know, that's what I'll be getting, just London. So it's been great. It's been great that I could reach out to many people, and also, you know, being a mum as well, I don't have to be away from home as much.
Yeah.
And also working from home, it gave the opportunity to also add on to my, you know, my additional skills and expertise, and become FCA regulated to provide life insurance as well. So I did that from home, that course as well.
Oh, gosh.
So
the whole gamut.
Let me ask you a question. Any chance of going back into the brickwork, or you're at home permanently done?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The way I'm running it at the moment, well, because my role is I kind of line manage the social workers. So because I don't actually physically go out in the community and I can operate from home and do everything from home. So like I'm talking to you now, I'll meet with my social workers, and, you know, line manager provides support that way, or team meetings via this same, you know, way of working. So it helps me to kind of balance everything that I need to do. So I hope that it stays this way. I like online working, not just because it helps me to juggle everything, but also I think that it opened up enough. I think you can be everywhere now. You don't have to limit yourself. I thought it was limited.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's really good. Now I'm going to kind of bring you back just slightly, because obviously the information, you know, the people will get it at the right time, and hopefully it will be of great use to them. When you said, I'm going to stick with the credit card thing, because obviously with lockdown happening, everybody, you know, whether it be furloughed or whatever, and perspectives has changed, and they might want to start something. Some people might be saying, well, wow, you know, cut up the credit card, and, you know,
but what's the process?
You know, how can I do that?
What's the
and
process?
Do it successfully? You know what I mean? And work and try and save. Do you have any advice for anyone that might be watching or will be watching later on as to how they can deal with that?
I think, you know, you have to kind of be clear on what it is you're hoping to achieve. I think that's what's going to kind of keep you focused. But that's obviously not just enough. That's just, you know, that's just easy. But I think once you're clear on what you want to achieve, that's what's going to keep you going, because some days are very hard. You're almost like, how am I going to fit all this in? But once you're clear on what you're trying to achieve, it'll keep you focused on that end goal. So I think it's clear to always have a plan at first. So goal setting is very important. First and foremost, goal setting, thinking about what is it I want to do, and what do I need to get me there? So where do I start in that sense? And that might not be finance. That may be just, you know, networks, like I was saying before, you know, making connections. Who's going to help you? Who's been doing that? Who can you actually lean on to get some advice and guidance? And who could you partner to reach that goal?
Committed. I like that word. Committed to. So whether it be the £10 or the £100,
literally
committed to putting away.
I think you said the word partner. Yeah. How does that equate in terms of you saving? Are you talking about your partner to save with, or are you talking about finding someone who is going through that same stage with you, so you can both keep yourselves in check?
That
kind of partnership you're looking at.
So, you know, partner in the sense of, you know, building each other up and lean on each other's, you know, processes, or even just helping. You find that often, you know, doing something where you're the only person in your team, you may feel sometimes that you have to know everything. And I thought that at first, but I really, I don't have to know everything. I just need to know someone that can do that for me, or someone that actually can support me in that area. So I think just having those connections, when I say partnering, I'm talking about having those connections to, you know, not be afraid to come out of your comfort zone, speaking to others, doing lives, you know, speaking to on other people's platforms, and getting into, you know, their audience as well, that you may be able to assist in that way, and vice versa. And that way you can kind of partner and support each other in that way. You can take it deeper into becoming accountability buddies as well. Where you know, they can hold each other accountable of what you say you're going to do. That was part of my coaching program, the NLP training. It teaches you about having someone else to hold you to what you say you're going to do. And then with the saving element, the partner is very much about that, isn't it? It's a group of people coming together, saving towards the same goal. So we think of it as, it's not so much peer lending, it's more like peer-to-peer saving. You know, because you're not more than what you put in, if you like.
Okay, so now I'm coming back to me. I've done vexed you already. I got to say all this. You done squeezed out my money already, right? So the question is, for my own good. But you know what? I can see the money just, you know, I can't have my things no more. So it's like I'm vexed now, right? So so the question for me would be, how do you support me in that situation? Because do you support me in that situation, or do you give me, you know, the tools for me to carry on, and then you can then, you know, occasionally give me a call to see where I'm at, and, you know, double check. How's that process?
I guess it's probably easy for me to explain, I guess, how my service works. So Usually most clients come through first point either through a consultation call, my free consultation calls. They'll complete a survey about where they are right now and what they're hoping to
How
achieve.
long is that?
That survey, complete that in about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's quite straightforward. Click on my link. Links in my link that I believe Lorraine's going to share.
Yeah, this is the link right here, everyone. So do take that down and go and see what Charlene or how Charlene can help you.
We're going to leave it there. So go and get your pens and papers. Remember, we always say to get your notepad and pens, right? So go and get it. It's going to be there for a little while so they can put it down. Yes. So, so there's a 10-minute consultation.
Yeah, so you get your 30. Well, it's 10 minutes to do the survey, but your consultation is 30 minutes. You have a free 30-minute consultation with me. And the reason why I asked that survey first is because we save time. Rather than me asking all those questions in the call, you get 30 minutes of me advising you and giving you, information on what you've put on the form. And then free discuss about your next steps. If you want to continue with me, you will go into maybe my masterclass, for example. I run masterclasses every month and I have a limited amount of free spaces for that. So I can invite you onto that to get a bit of taste about what I can offer you. So we cover, different things. I don't like to give spoilers, but it's top tips around, money mindset, all that sort of stuff. And again, you can reach that in that link as well for the next one on June the 24th and 25th. And then from there also I would tell you a bit about my online training program, and that's kind of where you really get to work, because I'm holding you accountable to tasks in there. I'm breaking down areas about money mindset, managing, reducing debt, and also budgeting and saving. And there's tasks related to all 3 sessions that you do on the online training program called the Money Groove. And then and again, you have the accountability for me throughout, because I hold you accountable to the tasks you tell me you're going to complete. There's that as well. So you're working as well. You're not just listening to me talk. And then when that's finished, we have a follow-up call just to see what came up for you. How was that for you completing that? And maybe some more advice I can guide you on. And then at the end of that, I then offer you to kind of join into my membership program. And my membership is that ongoing accountability and support. So every month there's different topics and seminar sessions on different money management areas. For example, last few months we did life insurance. The month after that we did money manifestation. And this month we're looking at debt versus credit. So access to those Zoom, very important, isn't it?
So are your programs linked to the entrepreneur, or is it for anybody that's looking to do what they would like to do?
Okay. Yeah. So all the kind of things that I cover is personal finance more than business, as I mentioned before. However, a lot of what I do can be applied to all areas of your life. Once you have personal finance on point, you can apply that to anything. If I didn't have my personal finance on point by the time I create Shoes About the Money, I don't think I'll be creating Shoes About the Money because I would have to manage my own money first. And that's very important. I'm able to keep the money I make from my business separate now. And that's very important. If you want to get into a position of paying yourself, you have to first know that money is not yours. Put that money separate, any money you make from your business. So that's something that I wouldn't be able to do before, because I was just spending everything that came in. So what I'm referring to is very much personal finance, but as I said, you can apply it in any area of your business or your finance. And because you're part of that membership, I'm also supporting you on your own individual goals. So you have access to me as well to kind of discuss that, and I can help you towards what you're trying to achieve as well. We also cover multiple streams of income as well. That's another one that we focus on, talking about a bit about side hustles and how you can have other streams of income as well as that 9 to 5, and how you use that 9 to 5 to feed into those other income streams as well.
Excellent. So that's an array.
That is an array of because it just sounds like, when you talk about she's all about the money, you are all about the money. Because the thing is, just by talking around the issues of why we talk about it frivolously, the Sky TVs and so on, but it's when you add them up and when you work out that you've got Sky, then you've got the other platforms, Netflix and blah, blah, blah.
Especially in, since it's locked down, I'm sure a lot of people have taken out, most of these things to keep yourselves occupied and entertained.
Right.
And then you kind of just have them there,
you become a junkie to them.
But then that's money, isn't it? That, you have to become unaddicted to and just
literally
calculate that money and say, right, okay, I'm going to just put that into what I really want it for. So, I think your services massively, important and needed for people, especially those that are thinking about, especially in our, for our members or people that are watching, are thinking, you know what, in the holidays, in the lockdown, I've had a idea that I would really like to start this business, or I really would like to focus on this training, but can't see their way forward to doing it. I think what you've explained here tonight, Char, will give people some idea, and even more so because it's about debt. And not everybody's in debt, but the ones that are and perhaps can't see how they can manage that to get to their goals. I think
goal.
that is where you would really be of great help to people. So everybody that's listening, Char Hibbert, she's all about the money, and she is the money and mindset coach, and you can catch her on all our platforms, and I've put them up out all the way through, so you can't miss them.
And what we will be doing is that we'll be working with Char to ensure that we have a few more sessions where we can talk specifically on various matters. So the doors are open, because it's important that you connect with her and she connects with you by giving you, just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the information. Because, everybody have to eat. So you can't just give it all away freely. You have to put something aside. So you've got an idea of what we are trying to accomplish for you, which is to provide you with the right information. And Char has agreed to come here to give you that information. Hopefully that you can take her on board on what she's actually doing and better your own finances. Because trust me, we all do. Yeah, we all do. So, it's a real pleasure that, I really do thank you that what you're doing, because it's very important for us to understand. I'm still vexed with you because you my money, man. I'm not enjoying myself now, right? Because
but Char, you know what? Don't even listen to him, right?
No, I'm glad he said that, Lorraine, because it's true. People assume that you can't enjoy your money just because you budget. You can, but it's moderation, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can't have that 12-ounce steak anymore. I've got to have a little 2-ounce steak. What kind of thing is this, man? What life we're living?
But those are the sacrifices, isn't it? And there you go. I say to you, Charlene, continue doing what you're doing, because it's an amazing job that you're sharing with everyone. But having said that, obviously we've come through, and I say this most of the time, with lockdown happening and everything, with your business. What are your next steps? How do you see yourself and your business going forward? Now that we see the sunshine is out and everybody wants to be outside and we've got this great weather, but how do you see yourself going in terms of your business and what you offer?
Taking over the world.
Well, that's a start. That's a start.
Isn't it? I just want to touch as many people as possible. So I just think having, the ability to use platforms just as yourself, what you are doing together is just amazing. And even though I'm from the perspective of women, this is for everyone. Everyone can use what I'm saying. This is, we all can relate to this. So using platforms as yourselves, kind of using that to kind of reach as many people as possible and create more links and partnerships, so I can, reach as many people as possible, because that's what it's all about. I love what I do, but I love to see the results even more. I love to get the feedback, testimonies from the clients that I'm working with, to hear, they transform their finances, they're on top of their money game, they've saved money, they've reached their goals, they've cleared all their debts, whatever it is. Just taking the scale bigger and bigger, really, doing what I'm doing and reaching a wider audience and more people as possible to reach, not just limiting. Yeah.
And we're so happy to have you on, and that Char, as Hugh said, will be back with us again.
I've got another question for you. I'm still vexed with you. Right? But what you're doing, is that virtual, and will you be going into a building to do seminar type things in the future? Because I can see.
Good question. Sorry. Yes, go on. I can see. What was that you're going to say?
I can see a very positive future in terms of, we as a people, we work together with a common goal. Unfortunately, some of the other goals that we try to work together, there are other things that get in the way. But finances, when someone says, I am committed to sorting out my finance, it's always a positive to go to a place and see other people there who look like you, who want to communicate what they are doing in order to help you and to support you. So I always feel that, it's wonderful to have the Zoom, but it's to go into the building and do some work together, to do budgeting on the table, so people can actually, there's something on the board and you're working towards that. You have a collective approach. Is that something that you are going to look towards doing?
Yeah, I think, I've kind of moved with the times of what we're allowed to do. So, I mean, over the last year, there was a few events that I was invited to attend. So I did actually go to a few events last year in person, which was very strange. I did start off online, like you were saying. But definitely, there's much more scope to, actually going out there and seeing people in the flesh. And also, the networking, the side for me as well. It helps me to network inside of things as well, not just others. So I think, as times change, definitely whatever's offered to me, whatever avenue that fits my goal and what I'm trying to achieve, definitely I'll be up for that, not limiting myself.
That's brilliant.
Well, so that's an invite that I'm just slipping in there. Yeah, because we're coming.
But do you think, Char, that we are opening up and becoming more confident with our finances? Do you think as a people we are becoming less guarded and actually holding our hands up and saying we require help? Have you seen that in since you started, or is that still an ongoing thing that you're prizing open?
I think that we still have this pride side of things when it comes to money. We want to appear as if doing well, so we often kind of chase things that relate to riches rather than chasing wealth. I think culturally we do that quite a lot. So in that respect, I think that there can still be a bit of a shift. Let's put it that way. I like to think of the positive, a bit of a shift. Let's say that. Yes. But through the money mindset work that I do with a lot of clients, I do notice a shift when they're forced to think outside their comfort zone, and then they start to explore, limiting beliefs that they didn't realize they had from growing up, like don't stretch further than your hand can reach, or that's not for us, that's for them, or you too. Wanty, whatever, stay in your lane. All this stuff that we heard growing up and never realized, that's kind of limiting us from what we feel we could achieve when it comes to money. So I feel that there's still a lot of that within the community. But I do feel that there is a slight change into looking at things differently and open-mindedness to look at, do different avenues to talk a bit more about money. So I think people are a bit more open to talk about things they weren't talking about before, such as life insurance, because, times we're in right now is make you realize how important life insurance is, right?
Well, that is an area in which I always said I'm too young to have life insurance, but then when I reach a certain age, and then it was that moment when I said I'd give up on it. I tell you what it was. I said I'm gonna get life insurance, and when I asked for life insurance, they said, "Are you a smoker?" I said, "Yes." The price went up by 60%.
That's right.
And I thought, what? So I said, okay, then I'm going to stop smoking. So I did the life insurance that day. Yes. Did the life insurance, and I stopped smoking on that day. Yeah. And so I know now when I checked my life insurance, I was paying less because I'd actually stopped smoking. Giving myself longevity.
So what would you say for anybody? Obviously, that's another side of what you do, Char. So in terms of what would you advise?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I was just to say, how dare you, Hugh, go to someone else?
Exactly.
Well, I didn't know. Well, you know what? The truth is, you can always change if it's not good enough.
That's right. You can always have a review. So that's something that I offer, not only new policies, but also offer reviews, because some people don't even know what they're signing up for. Say we have life insurance. So you go online, you click on the cheapest quote, and then you're happy to say, I've got life insurance. But then does it actually do what you want it to do when the time comes? That's what's important.
Okay, hold on. That's too simplistic. I've got life insurance. Now you're frightening me. So what is it that you're looking for that I didn't know that I should have had in my life insurance? What kind of things are we talking about?
I'm not telling you, you should have come to me. No,
there you go. Exactly. And that would be for another, the other
people,
time.
we're going to talk about life insurance in 2 weeks' time. Right?
Yes, no, I'd love to do that. Yes, I talk about the myths of life.
Right?
Oh, there's a lot of myths.
There's a lot of myth behind that. But again, everybody, you know, Char is giving out a lot of great information and knowledge here. And as you can see down below, do take down the details. You can access all of what Char has on offer and her services and information. And you can take that information down, or you can visit her on Instagram on her page. You can see all her details there, and also on Facebook as well if you're a Facebook user. All right, so you'll be able to contact Char, and as you can see, even if you have to reel it back a bit, she's given some great gems today, and she will be back. So if you missed and you want more, she will be back with us.
Because we know that you're out. Yes, it's sun shining and you're out doing your thing. But as we say, you'll be coming back to have a look and see what you missed. And it's a great thing that we put it straight onto the Facebook, and it's on the YouTube. We have a YouTube account, so blackbusinessrecommendation.com on the YouTube. So you go on there and you can watch it to your heart's content, rewind, get some of those notes, get her details, get in touch. Save yourself the time and the money. Now, I'll just say, in terms of the life insurance, we're going to talk about that, at some point. But when Charlene first came on board and she said about saving money, that's one way that you save money, right? For your family, for your legacy. It's not just about saving money for yourself. You're saving money or saving what you have to give to your legacy. So keep that in mind.
Generational wealth. We keep talking about that, and that is a real thing that I think we are all waking up to understanding. So again, Charlotte, it's been brilliant having you on. And we just wish you success upon success upon success.
And we'll be working with you
in sharing the knowledge that you have. And I'm sure you will attract so many more people because I think now you may have unlocked maybe some ways of how people have been thinking. I want to do this, but oh my God, I've got this debt. I want to do this, but I've got these store cards. I want to do it. And now you've kind of given them a way of thinking to say, you know what, I'm not on my own, and it's not just me. And you know what? There is a sister out there like me that is willing to help. So there she is, guys. This is what it's all about, and this is what we're trying to shine on.
Absolutely.
We are all here. We are showing you the people that are here to help you and are willing to help you. So do take up her services. As I said, it's all on here. I've put it up again for you. All right. Do take that information and go and seek out Char. All right.
And just to say,
my darling.
As I said, thank you so much for all of that. That was wonderful, and thank you so much for what you're doing. You two together are doing such wonderful things. You're reaching out and touching places that are not being touched. Yeah, so people actually shine a light in places that need to be shined a light. More and more of this. So I absolutely love what you're doing, from strength to strength. But also, I just wanted to say on Instagram, if you just click the link in my bio, it will take you straight to that link. So rather than you jotting it down, if you do 2 in 1, go onto Instagram, follow She's All About Money, and then click on my link, and you'll go straight into what's there. You can find a free masterclass there. You can find your 30-minute free call. You can find your life insurance free call as well. All the information, all the stuff that I do, even about the next circle that's coming up, which will be for £500 starting in July. So all of it's in there. Click on it and see what takes your fancy.
Yeah,
fantastic. Absolutely. Charlotte, thank you again. It's been amazing. Honestly, we can sit and talk all evening about all sorts, but we're going to have you back on again, as we've said.
Pretty soon.
But it's great knowledge and stuff that you've shared with everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Take care. Have a great evening.
Blessings.
Thank you. Just now you stay there, okay? And we're just going to tell everybody about
next week.
Next week, okay.
Next week.
You take care, my darling. I'm going to put you in the green room. We've got a virtual green room. Okay, but you take care now, my darling.
Take
All
care.
right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So
Oh, that was lovely.
that was wonderful. You know what? Because
Brilliant lady.
we talk about finances, but you know what? It's difficult. You know, I have experienced difficulties in terms of the finances, and I'm sure we all have.
At
Yeah,
some stage.
but we shouldn't be ashamed. What we should do is open the door to acceptance that there are people out there who can help us.
Yeah.
So Charlene is one of those people, and we'll be supporting her to support you. But that being said, next week we have a gentleman who we had visit us a year ago, and he spoke about walking through the streets of England, not just London, England, selling his wares. Now, funny thing is, about a month ago, he was walking through the streets of Africa, selling his wares. So, next week, on the 14th of June, we have Mr. Mark Dalgetty of Dalgetty Teas. So we're going to be checking with him to see where he's at, what he's been doing, and how we can still get those teas and the different flavors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and believe me, what I realize is from last year to the present day, his teas are slowly overtaking our cousins' teas.
Yeah.
The ones that copy.
Yeah. Most
His
definitely.
teas are actually taking over. I've gone to shops that I used to go to and used to say to them, there's a guy called Mark Dalgetty Teas. This is it here. Can you get some of this?
Yeah.
And he's now, when I go to those same shops, there's a row
exactly.
of his teas.
Yeah.
So herbal teas, best quality. So we're going to be talking next week to Mark Dalgetty and
catching up with him really and seeing where he is, how he's going even mega bigger than he is now.
Yeah.
And also as well, you know, he is a fantastic gentleman, works with great integrity, and he's also one of our sponsors, together with you know, Conbella as well. So
Conbella's Creative Solutions.
Yeah. So we are looking forward to having a great chat next week. We are going to sign off now. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's show with us.
Yep, thank you very much.
We're coming back. We're going to be on now every week. We've had a moment, but we're back now, and we hope that you'll be able to link into us on our Instagram
on a weekly basis, Monday at 8 o'clock.
Monday at 8 o'clock on our
and
YouTube
it's simultaneously being transferred over to YouTube. So that you can watch it even if you're not a member. So you can tell your friends, go to YouTube, Black Business Recommendation, and watch the shows. Okay?
Anyway, guys, you have a fantastic week. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. So,
Charlene, blessing to you, my dear. Take care. Thanks a lot.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.